You would have to be deaf, blind, or Helen Keller to have been on anime social media recently and not seen 1,000,001 memes about the new Rental Girlfriend chapter. I barely even use social media anymore, and I have seen so many memes of it that I can't even close my eyes without seeing Kazuya standing there without a boner for once. If you are listening to me yap and you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, I wouldn't believe you, because that would mean you have a life. Now, I'm gonna give you a little background as to what Rental Girlfriend is before I talk about the new controversy, just so you guys understand everything that is going down. So if you do not know what Rental Girlfriend is, or you also don't know what the new chapter is, then don't watch this beyond this point, because there's gonna be spoilers, okay? The plot completely dumbed down of this series is that we have our main male lead, Kazuya, who is a dorky guy who is just constantly horny and doesn't have a lot of female experience. He decides one day to use one of Japan's services called a rental girlfriend, where you can have a girl who pretends to be your girlfriend for a few hours, and it's not sexually, all you do is really go on a date, maybe hold hands, that's it. And the girl he rented was named Chizuru, who turned out to be a total bombshell. And Kazuya, lo and behold, ends up falling in love with Chizuru. And for the whole series, they do this song and dance of will they, won't they, all the while Kazuya ends up doing a lot of weird shit. The plot is way more nuanced than that, okay, I promise? Don't come after me, anime Twitter! But what really makes this series isn't the story, but rather the relationship between the two main characters, Kazuya and Chizuru, because even though you're looking at the relationship and you have no idea as to what the hell it is, throughout the entire series, by the way, you have no idea what you're looking at, but you can tell that the relationship is very deep. And it was forged over years of leaning on one another during hard times, like overcoming loss of friendships, finding themselves, dealing with death. And I mean constantly, it's a will they, won't they. You have no idea what their relationship really is at all, but there's one thing that's for sure, and that is Kazuya is deeply in love with Chizuru. He professes it quite a lot, and besides that, I mean, he's tried dating other people to overcome his feelings for her, but he couldn't. Anytime she needs him, no matter what he's doing, who's he with, he could be on a date with somebody else, and he'll just come running to her. I mean, bro even made a movie. He literally funded and created the entire setup for a movie so Chizuru could accomplish her dream of being a lead actress, which, in the end, once the movie was finished, had other producers looking at it and being like, damn, you're a good actress, come work for me, which led, further for her dream to be ongoing and a feasible thing. Bro really did that. And although Kazuya seems like the most dreamiest guy maybe in this description, he is not without his controversy. The first controversy that I'm sure a lot of us early Rental Girlfriend readers and enjoyers can remember fondly is Kazuya's stalker period. Stalker life, I should say, because it started from the early chapters. He doesn't really stop. And it starts when, in the beginning of chapters, when he realizes that he's in love with Chizuru. He decides to follow her when she's rented on dates with other people. And I'm not talking like quirky little, oh, look over the front, like I'm just eavesdropping, but no, he literally goes behind a telephone pole, goes and sits in a restaurant. He just follows her wherever they go. And then to add insult to injury, he gets really upset by it. He gets really pissed off that she's going on dates with other people, gets really jealous, and it's like, bro, she's a rental girlfriend. And then what adds insult to injury to fucking massacre is he doesn't see any issue with stalking her, because he does it a lot more throughout the series after that. And then we have Pool Boner Gate, where Kazuya tries to confess his feelings to Chizuru, but due to plot reasons, Chizuru has to run away, and Kazuya takes it as he gets rejected by her. So what does he do? What any of us really would. Go into a pool and imagine the person that rejected you being f***ed by multiple guys, all the while you're crying underwater with a big, massive boner in a public pool. He bawled his eyes out while his balls bawled with him too. Honestly, reading that back, no wonder cuck is one of the main tags under this manga, officially, by the way. But even with his faults, Chizuru still has some form of feelings for him. What kind? I don't fucking know. Actually, I could argue, I think a lot of us are very confident we knew her feelings for him. Why? Because she constantly alluded to it! She would always say a lot of leading things throughout the series like, oh, if I was your girlfriend, or I can see myself having feelings for you. And honestly, that's partially what led to this massive controversy right now. And And because this recent chapter has so many people in a tizzy, I had to break my vow. My vow that I would not touch, I would not even breathe this manga again until it was finished, until I could get this dumpster fire over and done with in one sitting. But I saw that would happen and I was like, fine. So I reread everything, all again, to the most recent chapter. And I will say, yeah, because it is certainly something. This new saga starts with, after years of them pretending to be boyfriend and girlfriend, deciding, hey, why don't we actually go on an official date to figure out our feelings for each other? Like a date where you don't have to pay me? You don't have to go through a website and rent me out? And Kazuya, when he hears Chizuru's like, yeah, I'll go on a date with you, he is just beside himself, okay? He puts down $1,000 on a new outfit. He gets his hair done. He finds a place that he wants to have the date and make sure it's perfect. So much so that he goes the day before the date to the location to scout out the areas that have the most romantic settings, the best food, the most places he thinks she will have the most fun. Either way, bro worked hard. Like, he knew he was going on a date with Jesus Christ Superstar, okay? It had to be perfect because this is the girl to him. But more than that, they both knew that this date would be defining everything. This would be the date that made Chizuru either realize that she had feelings for Kazuya or that she didn't want anything to do with him. She would need to stop prancing around. The day of the date comes and they are both nervous as shit because, hey, it's the goddamn day. This is the day that everything's going to change. Either for the best or for the worst, who knows yet? And also, it's their first real date, okay? Who's not a little nervous on their first real date? And so they get to their date location, which is an indoor amusement park chosen by Kazuya. And the indoor amusement park is way more crowded than the day before when he was scouting it. So a lot of the attractions and restaurants and everything that he was preparing were completely filled up with people. Everything at least had a wait of over an hour, and Chizuru wanted to try out this stuff. She wanted to go on the rides, so they decided to wait in the lines even though they were long as shit. I personally could never do that, but okay. I would be like, I'd rather just go figure something else out. There in Odaiba, there's a lot of shit to do. And while they were waiting in line, Chizuru wasted no time asking the real questions, okay? She wanted to know what she wanted to know to see if he would be the good boyfriend for her. And she did not hold back. She really grilled him. She was asking questions like, oh, what do you want to do with your life after university? Or what do you think the line is for cheating? Or how many kids do you want? It's the first fucking date, girl. Like, you're lucky he wants to bang you so fucking bad. Otherwise, any other guy would be running. Who asks how many kids you want on the first date? And he answered these questions with the most vague-ass answers, like, I don't know, how many do you want? Oh, I don't know what I want to do after university. Like, bro, you have 1 year left. How are you not figuring that out? Okay. Oh, I don't know what my line of cheating is. What do you want to hear? But the only one he could give a definite answer to was definitely the most important one, was Chizuru asking the final question of, why do you love me? How do you know you love me? Because she's never felt any type of love for anybody else before, and she doesn't know what about her is like so appealing to him. Not because she doesn't think she's lovable, but because, yeah, she doesn't really know how people could feel like that towards anything. And he gave her the most honest, straightforward answer that even had me swooning. I'm like, okay, maybe you're not such dog shit after all. In his mind, he was thinking her smile, how passionate she is about acting, her ass. Literally said all of it, all of it. Most of it was in his head, but still, he said it. And after a while, Chizuru started letting up on the questions, and they started paying more attention to having fun on their date. They were going on more rides, they were having a lot of fun trying about just different foods and exploring different things. They were even in a haunted house, and Chizuru grabbed onto Kazuya because she was scared. It was a very intimate moment. But the final moment at the indoor amusement park was what really kind of put the date all together. They ended up doing a compatibility fortune that ended up saying they were 100% compatible. And that both made them just feel like, holy shit, like this is the real thing. I think for most people, if they ever did a compatibility thing, most would be like, you know, whatever about it. But considering this date was, they both know them figuring out if they should be together or not, this was a pretty defining moment of the entire date. And in the end, they had an amazing day and were just glowing. They had a nice dinner, they chatted lots, and though the nerves were still there, they were just full of piss and vinegar with each other. And after she started asking the hard-hitting questions to Kazuya and he gave the answers, you could tell she was opening up herself a bit more to the thought of being in a relationship with him. She would say things like, oh, if I was your girlfriend, what would this be like? Or, oh, if we had a life together, what would you think of that? Would this type of thing be okay? I think everyone reading without knowing the outcome was thinking, this is it. This is finally going to be the ending of this pissy, prancy, dancy little bitch. Bitch would stop dilly-dallying, do the world a service, and hop on this guy's dick, or at least get by somebody else in front of him, and give us some reprieve from this horny-ass motherfucker. After they had their dinner, they decided to go to the beach, and they were feeling good. They had some drinks with dinner. They were both a little bit tipsy. They were looking at the beach, and the view of the city was just completely romantic. This was the defining moment. This was the moment that things were finally going to be resolved. It is here where she drops the bombshell. She states, with her whole titties and her heart out, that she could see herself falling in love with him. But she doesn't want to be with him. She doesn't think that he would fit in any part of her life right now. At least not as her boyfriend. And man, guys, I was shook because how the fuck? What? And I clearly am not the only one who felt like this because the whole internet was making so many posts about it. The internet was outraged, man. And it was not by one obvious answer either, because the internet was divided. It was either Team Kazuya or Team Chizuru. There were so many memes about Kazuya, so many memes about Chizuru. But in all honesty, I think the people most outraged are f***ing stupid, because I don't think they even really read the chapter. I don't really think they knew what was going on. They just saw that she rejected him and kind of made their own basis. And while some of the arguments used as to why they feel either way about either character are somewhat valid, they don't really make sense with the recent chapter. The reason why people were hating on Kazuya for being rejected in this chapter was because why was he confessing in the first place? Why, did he feel the need to feel romantic feelings towards somebody who was renting out anyway, and instead of just not being a coward, kept renting her out and making her pretend to be his girlfriend rather than just saying his feelings? And also crossing a lot of personal boundaries and just in general being a total creep. And people are pissed because the fact that even after all of that, after everything, he still wants her to be with him. And that's what mostly pissed people off. And you know what? I kind of get it. But in this chapter, he didn't pay her to be on a date with him. She wanted to go on this date with him to figure out her feelings. Because although throughout this entire series, Kazuya is a total piece of human excrement by being constantly pervy to whatever girl ever walks by him ever. Literally just chapters of him talking about a girl's tits and ass, bro. And he also doesn't respect any boundaries as well. In this chapter, he was the perfect gentleman. I was left thinking, maybe you seemingly aren't just a massive piece of human shit that is just disgracing this planet. Like, after she rejected him, he took it like a champ. He didn't cry. He didn't do anything. He gave her space and said, listen, I understand. Totally fine. And even after that, when he noticed that she hurt her foot after wearing new shoes, he said that he'd carry her home, and he did. He even talked to her like normal, like she didn't just get rejected by her, because he could tell that she felt awkward and didn't really know what to feel around him. And he didn't want her to feel uncomfortable. And people are hating on Chizuru because Kazuya spent so much money renting her out throughout the series. Like, that isn't her job. Honestly, when I saw those tweets, I got pretty pissed off because, bro, what the fuck? It's her job. Just because he was a sub on her Patreon doesn't mean she has to fuck him or even be with him. Chizuru did not owe Kazuya shit just because he rented her out. And if you agree with that, you're fucking messed up. Honestly, maybe you should rent a girlfriend so you could find a girl to actually talk to you for once. Both characters suck in this series in their own right, but after reading this chapter, I couldn't find really any plausible reason to dislike them. Do I know why Chizuru rejected him? Obviously, I don't, okay? This is my guesstimate. Because I got theories. I have no doubt that Chizuru has feelings for Kazuya. I mean, it was obvious throughout the entire chapters of their date that she was not, you'd have to be blind not to see it. But there's clearly something holding her back. Like, maybe she knows that if he became her boyfriend, it could affect her work. And I mean, this is her dream? Or maybe, and most likely in my opinion, she isn't sure she can even love somebody because, yeah, again, she didn't understand why Kazuya could love her just because she's never really felt like that towards anybody before. Or also maybe she didn't want to start a relationship with somebody that clearly has more feelings for them than they do for you. You know, she would want maybe to start a relationship that's on equal grounds in terms of feelings, which is understandable. And though I can definitely agree with that, it's kind of incredibly f***ed up to start a rejection with saying, I think I might be in love with you, but... Like, girl, I know your entire personality is going like, I don't know, but what the fuck? And then to give the reason, oh, I just don't think you can fit into my life. Like, huh? Be more specific, Chizuru! Okay, if you were just gonna say that, then why the fuck did you just start with, oh, I might be in love with you? Like, give more detail as to why he doesn't fit into your life. Give us more detail, because I'm left confused, girlfriend! And I know you're the mysterious sort of, what's my answer? I don't know, you guess you'll have to see, but we don't ever see, Chizuru. We never see. And maybe that's your appeal. Maybe that's your story, girlfriend, but I had it up to here. Who starts a rejection like that? Can you be honest for one fucking minute in your life, Chizuru? I need the tea. I need to feel that tea whispering down my body, boyfriend, girlfriend, any friend. Figure it out. Hey, Chizuru, there's this thing called communication. Ever heard of it, you typical female anime lame bitch? God, I hate that I love you, you stupid tsundere hussy. But in all honesty, seriously, Shirley, people, please, 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 did you expect her to accept his confession? When in any chapter of this entire manga has this author ever given us what we expected him to do? This motherfucker will always ensure what you expect to happen will never happen. He's the M. Night Shyamalan of cucking. He is the true master of his class, okay? But I truly don't believe that if you actually read the manga, you would think that this chapter was worthy of controversy. I get, yeah, the whole rejection and her, you know, saying, oh, I could be in love with you, I could, you know, whatever, and then rejecting him, being worthy of, like, discussion, but do I really think all of everybody getting heated and up in arms about it made sense? Not really. And yeah, again, there's clearly something more going on with Chizuru, okay? Even if she didn't like him, the fact is, she tried in this chapter. But let's be honest, we all know this girl's endgame, okay? I truly have a feeling that in later chapters, we're gonna get our answer and be like, oh my god, so that's why. And then this would all just be like, wow, what was that whole thing about? So congratulations, internet. You've awoken me from my slumber on this helicopter to hell. But I needed a vacation anyway, baby. But I will say this one was the least worthy of the bunch in terms of controversy. Not really one I wish I was stumbled awake for. Though I have no doubt in my little coochie of cooches that the next fucked up chapter is just beyond the horizon. Especially when it comes to this author. Well, until then, I'll be waiting. You may just have to see me again, space cow boobies, because I'm just beyond the corner. If there's a shit show involved in terms of a manga series, I'm always on the prowl. That's just unfortunately, that is what God put me on this green fucking marble for. Either way, thank you guys for watching this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're thinking about supporting this channel, please think of checking out my Patreon. Either way, thank you guys again, and I'll see you soon. Bye!